Hello guys and welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to tell you all the improvements that F1 2017 has over F1 2016. Not the new features, just all the improvements that's better in this game than the previous game. Starting off we have Korea. Obviously, as the main thing they've been advertising about Korea is greatly expanded R&D. There is 4 times as much R&D in the new game and it allows you to keep doing R&D all the way through the 10 seasons, and it's very unlikely that you'll reach the limit of your car unless you do all the practice programs. Talking about practice programs, there are a few new practice programs including the fuel saving program and the tyre wear program, in which you are trying to reduce the amount of fuel you use and reduce the amount of tyre wear you use. Obviously these will give you resource points to expand on your R&D. There are now multiple office spaces, so Emma has her own office, the agent Emma, there's the R&D guy has his own like truck you can go into now where they do all the R&D, and there's also lots of different locations in your normal paddock area for different tracks to make it more realistic. For example, Spa, you can like see a big forest while you're sitting there because that's what Spa is like. It's not just the same office space over and over again. Talking about the characters, all the characters now just look a bit better as they've probably updated the engine a bit and improved on the character faces. And there is also a new character, Jonathan, who's the guy that helps to implement the classic cars into the game, as he is meant to be a rich guy who has access to all these classic cars and you can go and race them at invitational events. Furthermore, in Korea there is now engine and gearbox management required, and if you don't manage these well you can get failures. If you have to replace something in like practice or qualifying, then it will like eat away at your time, and you can also get penalties for the race, like 5 or 10 second penalties or 5 grid penalties and so on, just like real life. And also talking about upgrades can also fail. The AI are now more racier and aggressive, but as well as that, they're also more aware of each other and the player. I've had it a lot of times in 2016 where the AI would just crash into each other for no apparent reason, as they're just not aware of where they are, and sometimes they just turn in front of you as well as they're not aware. But on the opposite spectrum of that, also sometimes you could just dive bomb them and they'll move out of the way, and that is meant to be improved in the new game. Also, the AI in 2016 would quite often, they would never ever make mistakes. They would always just stay on the racing line perfectly and just like slow down if they're on a lower difficulty. Well, now they actually make mistakes, so obviously the hard difficulties make less mistakes, but they can like lock up or go wide or brake too early, etc. And talking about difficulty as well, there is now a difficulty slider instead of just the normal options of ultimate, legend, beginner and so on. There's now a difficulty slider from 10% AI difficulty up to 110% AI difficulty for like really pro players, which should make it so that you can fine tune your AI difficulty for you. Now for online, they are bringing back online ranking. I think it was in like F1 2012 or 2013. So if you cause incidents or penalties, or you don't do that well, then your ranking is reduced. But if you start winning races or getting on podiums, your ranking increases. This way you can easily see how good someone is. You can create lobbies of people that are around the same strength as you. And also in online there is a much better connection and less lag between players. And even if there is a car that has a bad connection, the game is better at giving them an optimal like coming up with where they probably will be going, instead of like in 2016 sometimes cars could like randomly drive into a wall then suddenly appear back on track and smash into you. That's because the game was trying to think of where it was going but was doing a really bad job of it. that's meant to be much more improved so that the laggy cars don't go in like crash into walls, etc. Now for lobbies, there are now 2 spectator spots in the lobby for like commentators or just people that want to watch the race instead of racing it. So yeah, 2 people can spectate in the game without having to be in the lobby. There are obviously going to be new session types. I'm not sure what they are yet, we haven't been told. But there are going to be new session types in online. And of course the classic cars are implemented as they are in most modes. Now in general there are a lot of small tweaks that I really like. I picked out a lot of some of my favourites, but you can also, on the F1 website, on the blog and stuff, they do have all the features. There is now a 4th maximum engine mode for qualifying that allows you, it uses a lot of fuel but gives you just the best performance over 1 lap. With the pits, there is now a pit limiter button. You've got to engage the pit limiter. So you can also engage the pit limiter before you get to the pits if you're struggling with like braking for the pits and engaging the pit limiter at the correct time. After a pit stop, since your car completely stops, you've got to do like a race start. So you've got to re-engage your car after the pit stop, and you've also got to disengage the pit limiter after you exit the pits. Another it's quite a major feature, but most people won't notice it, is that they've gone and remapped the entire of the Japan Suzuka circuit. So now some corners are tighter, some are a bit longer and so on, to be much more accurate with the original layout. Obviously, as in every game, there is an improved handling model to respect the new cars, but also it's just an improved handling model overall that should be more realistic. There are now 88 supported wheels, which you can find the full list of them all in the description. 88 supported wheels, about 50 on PC and about 15 on PS4 and Xbox. And finally, with the helmets, there are now community designed helmets that your driver can wear, and there's just more helmets designed by Codemasters themselves in there as well, to give you more customizability. As I said, I'll leave all the links to all of the features and on Cody's blog. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button down below and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, I've been Harry, and goodbye.